Yes, today is Express AMath. Okay, we're going to start now. Okay, so the very first question is they ask us to sketch the graph for logarithm as well as a normal linear graph. So first of all, how are we going to plot for the graph for logarithm? Okay, so logarithm graph is actually pretty straightforward. So I'm going to write it here this side. So I want to plot for y equals to log x. Okay, y equals to log x. So the first thing is two things you need to show. Two things. You need to show the asymptote. Okay, asymptote. Question mark. And then you need to show what is the x-intercept. Okay, so this is the two things you need to show for logarithm graph. So now what is asymptote? Okay, look at this part here. So this is x. We know that logarithm x cannot be 0. So we will know that x cannot be 0, and therefore the asymptote will be x equals to 0. And in this case, x equals to 0 is actually the y-axis. Okay, I need to shift first. I cannot see. Okay, so with this, I will plot my y-axis, just a vertical line. And my x-axis. Y-axis and x-axis. So since the y-axis is my asymptote, it means that my logarithm graph cannot cross over to the y-axis. Cannot cross over. So we will know that the shape of the logarithm graph is always this direction. It's always this direction. I'm going to use pencil. Logarithm graph is always this up. So before I start to plot, I need to go and find out what is my x-intercept first. So on the x-intercept here, we know that our y is equals to 0 for the x-intercept. So I'm going to substitute y equals to 0 and find out what is the corresponding x. So you will have 0 equals to log x. Log is base 10, so it's actually 0 equals to log base 10 x. So change it to index form. So my x is equals to 10 to the power of 0. My x is equals to 1. So therefore, you know that the x-intercept is a 1. So that means you come to here, plot a 1 here. And with the asymptote is your y-axis and the x-intercept is the 1. All you need to do is you just need to draw this and go this way. Okay? So you do not cross over to the y-axis. And you just need to show that the x-intercept in this case is 1. And lastly, label this as y is equals to log x. So, I'm going to write refer behind. I'm going to show you another logarithm graph. Okay, so for example, over here, so let's say I want to plot for y is equals to log x plus 2. Okay, how are we going to plot this? Same thing, find your asymptote. So we know that this one cannot be 0. So x plus 2 cannot be 0. So x cannot be negative 2. And therefore, in this case, my asymptote is x equals to negative 2, which is the vertical line x equals to negative 2. Next is I want to find out what is my x-intercept. So I'm going to substitute y equals to 0. So we have log x plus 2 is equals to 0. Then this is base 10. Push up, so we have x plus 2 equals to 10 to the power of 0. X plus 2 is equals to 1. X is equals to 1 minus 2. So x is equals to negative 1. So I have my x-intercept. I have my asymptote. So how to plot this? Okay. I'm going to just use pencil. Y-axis and x-axis. So my x equals to -2, let's say is here lah. So I need to draw a asymptote. So in this case, this asymptote need to be a dotted line lah. And my x-intercept is -1, so it's over here. Okay, so in this case, it's a little bit special. Why? Because we have the y-intercept as well. So if you want, you can show the y-intercept as well. So we're going to substitute x equals to 0. Okay, so we have y is equals to log 0 plus 2. So y is equals to log 2. So my log 2 value, let me see, log 2, 0.3. So it's like very small, but it's okay. So now my graph will look like this. So this is my asymptote. It's very near, but it will not cut across. So that means it's this, and then we're going to just move this direction. And we will know that this value over here, it's log 2. And that's all. Okay, so this is how you plot this graph. Okay, this one maybe just continue to draw, but do not cross over. So this is how you draw this logarithm graph. So I repeat, okay, the focus is to find out first what is the asymptote. So how to find the asymptote is always this bracket. Just now the previous question, it was just x, so x cannot be 0, and therefore the asymptote is x equals to 0. I've mentioned this one because our logarithm, this one cannot be 0. So x cannot be 0, so my asymptote is x equals to 0. Because x cannot be 0, so therefore the x equals to 0 is like your asymptote. You cannot cross over that line. So in this case, the y-axis is the asymptote. Then over here, this part here cannot be 0, right? So my x, this one should over, my x cannot be -2. So the vertical line x equals to -2 become your asymptote. And that's why you see I draw a vertical line x equals to -2. So this is a line whereby your graph cannot cross over. It's like a guideline cannot cross over. Just now is cannot cross over the y-axis. This one is cannot cross over the x equals to -2. Okay, find the x-intercept by subtracting y equals to 0. And you see that, oh, it's x equals to -1. So you know that the graph cuts the x-axis at -1. And then for this case, because we're going to have a y-intercept as well, that's why I substitute x equals to 0, and we find out that y is log 2. So therefore, in this case, you plot this, you will show the asymptote, the x-intercept, as well as y-intercept for this situation. This part, there's no y-intercept because it did not cut across the y-axis. So therefore, it is just showing the asymptote. In this case, it's just a y-axis as well as x-intercept. That's all. Okay, I hope I answer your question about how to find the asymptote. Okay. Help me to like. You can actually tap the screen. Okay. Combo tap the screen, and then you can have. Then the light will increase. Okay, so now let's take a look at part B. Now they ask, explain how you would use your graph to determine I haven't plotted this graph. So I need to plot this straight line as well, y equals to -x. So let me find a space to write. Okay, so here I'm going to just so this y equals to -x is just a straight line. So I just need a table of points. So straight line, I just need 3 points. I'm going to just put -1, 0, and 1. So minus x means minus 1, so it's a positive 1. -0 is just 0. minus 1 is just minus 1. So in this situation, the 2 points I have is negative 1 and 1. So I have 1 point here. Okay. Thank you. How is now my number 1? I think maybe he take a lot of the no, because How sent me a duck. Thank you for the duck. I just saw the duck. Yeah, they just show pop alert. Okay, so this is 1, negative 1 and 1. This is 0, 0, and we have 1 and negative 1, so it will be here. So with this, I can draw the line. Okay, so draw the straight line, and this will be y is equals to minus x. I don't think so, right? Is it? Egg got corgi, so cute. Is it Jianhao? Jianhao, is it the Jianhao, is it the one with a very cute daughter? I recently saw his video that her daughter lecture him that he wastes food, huh? Is it the Jianhao? Okay. And I also quite in, I also got follow him. Okay, so now let's take a look here. So straight line, see, I draw this line and draw this line. So I already answered the part A. They say on the same axis, sketch the graph of this graph as well as this graph. So we are done. Then now they say explain how you would use your graph to determine the number of solution to the equation. So this equation over here, x is equals x 10x, x 10 to the power of x equals to 1. What am I doing? I don't take AMath. Okay, so now see here. So now you need to show that this equation actually is the solution between these two graphs. Okay, so we all know that if you want to find the intersection point, you need to let this equals to this negative x, because y equals to y. So how you're going to do that is, because we know that it's base 10, so I'm going to log both sides. So I'm going to do log both sides. We need to prove that this equation come back, and it must be log x equals to negative x. Okay, that's what you need to prove. So I'm going to log both sides. How to find x? Sure. Ex-girlfriend, huh? Okay, so log both sides. So now log both sides, that means log x 10x is equals to log 1. Okay, properties, you all need to know that log 1 is 0. Log 1 is 0. So right hand side is 0. And then this one, okay, take note, because you log this is x multiplied by 10x. So when multiply logarithm law, you need to split it. So it becomes log x plus log 10x. Okay, you need to know your logarithm laws lah, but we are revising all the different topics, so I have no time to go in depth into it. But if you want more logarithm questions or videos, you can actually just go to my YouTube. You can see this time I include one so-called a note beside me. A note beside me. Click on my link, go to my last button, go to my Telegram, whereby you can download the PDF worksheet. Okay, the solution will be uploaded tomorrow by my team member. Then the second last button will go to my YouTube. So when you go to my YouTube channel, you can just search under my video. Wow, thank you very much. What's that? Jianhao, you are very generous. 谢谢你啊，谢谢你啊. Okay, I think you are trying to encourage me to educate the kids, right? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so you can go to my YouTube channel. No, it's not log 10. This one is log 1. Log 1 is 0. Log 10 is 1. Yes, you are right. Okay, but this one is log 1, because this one is 1. Okay, So what I'm going to do is power law bring down. So just like I haven't saying finish, under my videos you can search for logarithm. So I think you will see some videos that I teach about logarithm. So you can actually go to the YouTube channel and learn more from there. But over here I cannot go in depth into all the different laws. Okay. Next, power law. This is power. I can bring it to in front. So it will be log x plus x log 10 equals to 0. And just now someone say log 10 is 1, which is correct. So this one is 1. So therefore log x plus x times 1 equals to 0. I'm going to shift this over, so it will be log x equals to negative x. So do you see that? Log x equals to negative x. Log x is my this graph, minus x is my this graph. And once you prove this already, you will just say, okay, since the two graphs cut at only 1 point, which is only 1 point, you see here, there's only 1 point, it means that there is only one solution. Ta-da! Understand? Okay, so this is how you do this question. Okay, part 2 they always ask you, to prove, find out the number of solutions. It's actually just doing the simultaneous of the top. But in this case, it's slightly the other way around. They give you the equation, so you need to work backwards to show that actually it's simultaneous of the two equations. Sure, why must log both sides? Log both sides is because, you see, you look at the original equation, you don't see any log. Agree or not? You don't see any log. But because we want to prove that it is actually log x equals to minus x, so I need to have a log. I need to have a log. Therefore, I log both sides. When I log both sides, okay, as long as I do the same thing to both sides, it is okay. Okay, you see, when I log both sides, I will have this term log x, you see, which I want. You understand? Of course, if let's say your graph is ln x, then you want to have the term ln x, then yes, you choose to ln both sides. Got it? Okay. Okay, good. So, Sophia, how you? Your name, I don't think it's pronounced as Sophia, right? Sophia. Okay. So now let's go to the next question. So the next question is coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry. This is a slightly tricky question. Let me shift the question until you all can see. Okay, good. This will be the best. Okay, so now over here, the diagram shows a kite. This is chapter what of AMath? I don't know that I got different textbook. I only know it's AMath coordinate geometry. Different textbook is different chapter number. This is AMath coordinate geometry. Okay, so now over here they say kite. So firstly, you need to know the properties of kite. The properties of kite. So properties of kite, firstly is these two sides are equal. So I'm going to mark out that these two sides are equal. DA and BA is also equal. Whether you use it or not is a later story. But now is you need to put in whatever you know about kite property into the diagram first. So and then the next very important property is the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So you will just draw a line from here, here, okay, and you have 90 degrees. So these are the important properties of a kite. Okay, whether we use it or not is later story. So now the next thing is this over here. They tell us that point D, okay, is on the y-axis. Okay, it's already stated there. Okay, point B is on the x-axis. Okay, just acknowledge it. So when you say that this is y-axis, on the y-axis, we know that the x coordinate is 0. Only the y coordinate I still don't know. So I just leave it blank first. Now, point B is on the x-axis. So on the x-axis, the y is 0. So over here, you will put underline and then put 0 here. So the only unknown is the x coordinate of the point B. Okay, then the very tricky thing is, student asks, okay, what do you do with this one, tangent angle DBO equals to 2. What am I going to do with this? Okay, so now I'm going to tell you, this means is tangent angle DBO equals to 2 over 1. So the 2 over 1 means what? Is 2 unit is to 1 unit. So now let's find out where is my DBO. DBO. So they are referring to this angle over here. Okay, I use red pen. Yeah, this one. So look at the triangle DBO, and we know that this is a right angle triangle. This is the angle reference that they are talking about. Tangent is 12, O over A, opposite over adjacent. So we know that, based on this angle reference, opposite is our DO. Okay, so this one is 2 unit, and then adjacent, this will be our 1 unit. So we need to know this, okay. Then next, 2 unit and 1 unit, then what do I do with it? Okay, this is very critical. That's why it's 5 marks. Remember just now our point D and point B, we already put the whatever we already know here, correct? DB is square root of 5. DB is square root of 5. Okay, so now, no, we don't need that one. We don't need that one. We don't need that because we're not using the length of DB as well. So what we need is, now my point B, okay, now I'm going to let my point B be, let's say I put as A minus A comma 0. Okay, why is it minus A? Is because, yes, it's Pythagoras theorem, but I don't need the DB, so it's not useful for you to use square root 5 also. You are not wrong. 2 square plus 1 square, then square root, so it's square root 5. Yes, it is right, but we don't need that information. Okay, so what I want is, don't worry, Amber, no worry. Sometimes you need to try and error also. Sometimes you can put there the information, then you realize that you also don't need it in the question. Over here is because part A asks us to prove that the point B and point D is these 2 coordinates. So what we need to do is, okay, just now we already know my y coordinate for B is 0. I'm going to let my x coordinate be minus A. So why is it minus A? Is because my B is on the negative side of the x axis. So I put as a minus A. Okay, and now my D will be, see, if this one is minus A, my A is 1 unit, here is 2 unit, it means that this one is 2A, correct? And because the D is on the positive y, therefore my D will be 2A. So it's 0 and 2A. It's just like, for example, if my A is, this one is negative, if let's say this is minus 40, okay, which is true minus 40, and because we know minus 40 here is 4 unit. 4 unit times 2 will be 8 unit. So 0 plus 8, so we know that this is 2 times 4, because our A is 4, you see? Do you get it? Okay, we are trying to have as less unknown as possible. In this case, I only have one unknown, which is A. Understand? Can everyone understand how I let my B be minus A 0 and D be 0 2A? Okay, because next we're going to do use another property to form equation. Good, this is very critical. Next, we're going to use the property. Then look at it. I got D, I got B, I got C. I mean partial D, partial B, and then I got point C. And just now remember, I put the marking CD is equals to our BC. So now we're going to use the length, okay, to form equation. So we will say that BC is equals to CD. So therefore, finding the length of BC here, you will have to use x1 minus x2. I'm going to just put the formula here. Finding length is x1 minus x2 square plus y1 minus y2 square. Okay, so that is the formula. That's the formula. So now over here, I put square root BC. So look at your BC. Okay, I will take minus a minus 6. So it will be minus a plus 6, because it's minus a minus means plus 6. Square plus 0 minus 6 square. So this is the length of BC in terms of A. Don't worry about the square root, because the other side later have square root. When I square both sides, the square root will disappear. Okay, next equal square root. So the length CD, now you will look at C and D. So we do the same thing. So 0 minus 6, so it's 0 plus 6 square plus 2a minus 6, 2a minus 6 square. So now it becomes an equation with only one unknown, which is a. Then you need to solve this. So just expand, okay? This one is minus a plus 6. I will go to just reverse it to do it easier. So it's 6 minus a square. So when I open this up, it will be 36, because it's a square minus 2ab plus b square. So a square minus 12a plus a square. This one is just negative 6 to the power of 2 is just 36. So just put plus 36 and then put the square root. This side, this one will be 36. This one will be 4a square minus 24a plus 36. Wait, times 1 and 2 is what? Multiply by 1 and 2 is what? Where got multiply by 1 and 2? This one, is it? Expansion? Are you referring to the expansion? This one, what I do is I just do 6 minus a square. So it's 6 square minus 2ab plus b square. The 2 unit and 1 unit, is it similar triangle? No, it's not similar triangle. It's because they give us tangent, this angle is 2 over 1. So that means the opposite is 2 unit and then the adjacent is 1 unit. Okay, yes, and then after that the square root can cancel with the So now I'm going to square both sides. So it become 4. I write the other side. Oh, okay. So now let's simplify. So I have 36, 72. I'm going to just write 72. 72, 36 plus 36. And then minus 12a plus a square. Here also have 72. Then we have plus 4a square and minus 24a. So now, because we see that it's a quadratic equation, we're going to bring everything to the left hand side. Okay, for quadratic equation, bring everything to the left hand side. So now I have minus 4a square plus a square minus 12a plus 24a plus 72 minus 72 equals to 0. Minus 3a square plus 12a equals to 0. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to divide by negative 3 throughout. So now I have a squared minus 4a equals to 0. So how to solve this is factorize out the a. So now you have a equals to 0 or a minus 4 equals to 0, and where I get a equals to 4. And of course we reject a equals to 0. Okay, so now we have our a equals to 4. So now we know that, oh, my b, therefore b is, just now we assign it as minus a, so it is minus 4, 0, and our d is 0 to a. So 0 times 4 times 2 is 8. So it's 0 and 8. So shown. And we're done. Okay, so this question is tricky. Firstly is you need to make use of this tangent angle equals to 2 over 1. So students don't know what to use to with this one. Now you know, just put a 2 over 1, because 2 over 1 is 2 and then tangent is 2, or opposite over adjacent. So they are saying, okay, I go and find this DBO. The angle reference, this is my opposite, so my opposite is 2 unit, and then my adjacent is 1 unit. Right? Okay, so we are done with this question, and not done, sorry, it's only part A. We still have a part B, I think. Yes, we still have a part B. Part B is another 5 marks question. So in total, this question actually gives us 10 marks. I can shift it for you to screenshot, but I don't think I can capture the whole thing. Okay, but you can go to my Telegram channel, which is not today, tomorrow. Now you go, Telegram is only the empty page one, no solution, it's just purely the question. So tomorrow, just go to my Telegram channel. Okay, click on my last button on my link. Tomorrow, my team will upload the solution. Whatever you all see here, I will scan in, and then they will upload. Okay? Now let's take a look at part B. Part B over here. They say that given that the area of ABCD is 80 square unit, find the coordinate of A. So let's come back to see this question, this part. So they want you to find out what is the coordinate A. So for this time round, I'm going to let A, B, PQ, 2 unknown. Then whenever you assign them as 2 unknown, you know that you want to solve 2 unknown, and naturally you must have, I need 2 information to form 2 equations to do simultaneous. So then you look at the diagram again and see what 2 information can you use, okay, to form 2 equations. So remember, just now I mentioned that the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So then you know that, let's see whether we have information about the gradient. So if you look at this one, we already know that this is 0, 8. Okay, students, if you cannot even do part A, okay, you can just take the B and D, the coordinate that they already give you, and do B. Don't say, I cannot prove A, then after that you just forgo about B. Okay, you can just, let's say you really cannot do A, you can do B. You can say at least get the 5 marks for part B, understand? So this is 0, 8, and then this is negative 4, 0. So you see, I have my D, I have my B. I can find the gradient, agree? I can find gradient BD. And with this, I can find gradient AC because it's perpendicular. And once I know the gradient of AC, means I have a set of information. So that one set of information can let you form the equation, the first equation. So with this, I'm going to find the gradient. Okay, so first, let's find the gradient of AC. Let me find gradient of, no, not gradient of AC, gradient of BD. Okay, I'm going to just put the B here. B is negative 4, 0. My D is 0, 8. So y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. So we will just take 0 minus 8 over negative 4 minus 0. So we have minus 8 over negative 4, so we have 2. So gradient BD is 2. My gradient AC, we just take negative 1 divided by 2, which is minus half. Just now I find gradient of this, give us 2 whole. So perpendicular, you must know that M1 times M2 is equals to negative 1. That's why I get my gradient AC is equals to minus 1 divided by the 2, we get negative half. So with this, now I can also put my C here. My C is minus 6 here. Okay? So now gradient AC, we know that is negative half. Now we can form the first equation. Find gradient AC in terms of P and Q. So now look here, Q minus 6. So therefore, Q minus 6 over P minus 6. So it's P plus 6 is equals to negative 1 over 2. So with this, cross multiply. So we have 2Q minus 6 is equals to negative P plus 6. So we have 2Q minus 12 equals to minus P minus 6. Let's make the P the subject. Okay, P equals to negative 2Q minus 6 plus 12. P is equals to 6 minus 2Q. And that will be my equation 1. So I have my first equation already. Now I need a second equation. Then let's go back and see what other information we have in order to form the second equation. Actually no need. See here can. It's the information is that they give me the area is 80 square unit. So I'm going to give that the area form the second equation using this. Okay. So you will write it as, okay, I want to shift this up a little bit. So my area of A, B, C, D is equals to half. I'm going to use the shoelace method. And I'm going to do minus 6. And you must go anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. After minus 6, you take minus 40. Then you will take the A. In this case, my A is PQ. Okay, see, I'm going to write Q here. Q. By right, I have to put a P here, correct? But because over here, I already know my P is 6 minus 2Q. So I just put 6 minus 2Q here. My A is PQ. I replace the P to become 6 minus 2Q. Okay, then now 0, 8. And remember to close it back with the first point, which is minus 6. Okay, so with this, and we know that the area of the is 80, so we can form the equation. So shoelace method is this direction is a plus. So I will say, okay, half, okay, minus 60 plus negative 4Q plus 6 minus 2Q plus 6. Okay, minus will be this direction. Minus negative 8 minus 0Q minus okay, I'm going to just put equal first. Minus 6 minus 2Q minus negative 4 and 6. This is the area in terms of P and in terms of Q, correct? And the whole thing, if you're going to simplify, okay, of course, I'm going to half. I have minus 4Q plus 48 minus 16Q plus 48 plus 24. Okay, and this whole thing half, let's see, my minus 4Q minus 16, I have minus 20Q number I have, where's my calculator? 48 plus 48 plus 24, so this is plus 120. So with this will be minus 10q plus 60. Okay, so therefore minus 10q plus 60 is equals to 80. Okay, equals to 80. So minus 10q equals to 80 minus 60. Minus 10q equals to 20. So my q is equals to negative 2. And my p, I already know that it is 6 minus 2q. So therefore it is 10. And with this, we will know that A is PQ, so it's 10 negative 2. Done. Okay, so this is how you do this question. So I repeat a little, just summarize a bit. I let A be PQ, X and Y coordinate is unknown. I have to find two information to form two equation. I make use of the gradient. I make use of the area, form two equation. In fact, in this case, I never form two equations. Since I already have my first equation P in terms of Q, and then I just replace the P to become Q. Straight away, I have the equation that is in terms of Q, and I can just solve my Q and find my P, and that will be my point A. Okay, so this question is a 10 marks question, coordinate geometry. Sure will come out during exam. Definitely will come out one question. Okay. Okay, so we are done with this question. So let's move on. Next is partial fraction. Okay, partial fraction. So I'm going to go very fast already because wow, actually I planned a lot of questions. But not enough to go through. Not enough time to go through everything. Okay, now express this in partial fraction. So every time you want to do partial fraction, the first thing you need to do is check whether is it proper or improper fraction. Okay, and then you look at the power, x to the power of 2. The denominator highest power is also x to the power of 2. When you have the same power, or when your numerator is bigger than the denominator, they are all improper. So in this case, this is improper. So if it's improper, you need to do long division. So now this one, x squared, I need to divide it by x squared minus 6x plus 9. Then student, wow, how to divide? So what I need to do is, you see, here I got missing term. So I don't have x, I don't have constant, so I put as plus 0x plus 0. Then now it's easier for me to do the long division. This one is just 1. 1 multiplied by x squared give me x squared. Okay, so here is x squared. 1 multiplied by negative 6x, this is minus 6x. 1 multiplied by 9, so this is plus 9. Minus with the bracket. So I have 0 minus minus 6, so it becomes 6x. 0 minus 9, so it's minus 9. So it is 6x minus 9. So now it means that, so actually x squared over x squared minus 6x plus 9, it is equals to the quotient, which is 1 plus the remainder, which is 6x minus 9, the whole thing over x squared minus 6x plus 9. So now I have changed the improper fraction to the mixed number. So now I'm going to do the partial fraction. So this part, okay, write it here. So you will write it as 6x minus 9 over, let's factorize the denominator, you will get x minus 3 squared. When you factorize this, you get x minus 3 squared. This is repeated linear. So it will be case 2, whereby you will give birth to a over x minus 3, b over x minus 3 squared. So now what you need to do is combine this into a single fraction. So I want denominator to be x minus 3 squared. So therefore, this one have to multiply with x minus 3. So this one just plus b, the whole thing over x minus 3 squared. So what I did was just combine to a single fraction. Then now you can compare. So I'm going to say by comparing my 6x minus 9 is equals to my a x minus 3 plus b. Let's rainbow the right hand side. I choose comparing because this one actually very easy to rainbow. If it's difficult to rainbow, then you have to use the other method, substitute a suitable value. So now this is ax minus 3a plus b, and this is 6x minus 9. So we will know that, so a straight away we know is 6. And then as for this, is equals to negative 9. So minus 3a plus b is equals to negative 9. Start in the a equals to 6. Minus 3, 6 plus b is equals to negative 9. So b is equals to minus 9 plus 18. b is equals to 9. So therefore, I solve my a is 6 and then my b is 9. And lastly, because you want to express this whole thing as partial fraction, so now you write the original. So therefore, x squared over x squared minus 6x plus 9 is equals to a, which is our 6 over x minus 3 plus 9 over x minus 3 squared. And we are done. So this is how you do partial fraction. Okay, always the first thing is check whether proper or improper. Do your long division. If it's improper, put it into the mixed number. You only apply partial fraction on the proper side. So you see I do here, okay, I find my a and b. Once you settle already, remember to take back your, I forget my 1. See, you need to put back your 1. So it's equals to 1 plus. Because just now over here we only did for this part, and then I want to present this, and I must put back my quotient. So equals to 1 plus and that will be how you do this question. Okay, so we are done with this question. Let's move on. Let's see what's the next question. Logarithm. Next question is logarithm. Solve log 2x minus 3 equals to 0. I write out the question first. Log 2x minus 3 log x2 equals to 2. For this, you can see that I see log 2x, I see log x2. Okay, so I know that I can make use of change of base to change the base x to base 2. So of course, the common question that students always ask me is, sure, do I change this to base x or do I change this to base 2? You never, actually both ways also work. You still get the same answer, but it is a lot easier when you make to base 2. Make sure your base is a number instead of an x, understand? So in this case, I'm going to change this to base 2. Okay, so I will have log 2x remain the same. This put 3. I'm going to put a bracket here. I'm changing this to base 2. Put a fraction. I'm changing it to base 2. Now the 2 here is put here. The x put at the below. And then of course the 2 will remain. And we know that log 2 is 1. So therefore this one become log 2x minus 3 over log 2x equals to 2. Right? Then I'm going to make use of substitution. Because this log 2x look too complex, maybe I can take it as, I'm lazy to write log 2x. So you just say, okay, I'm going to let u equals to log 2x. Of course, it's not because lazy. It's because it's too complex. We're going to just use an alphabet to replace the same thing. So now you will know, oh, so actually my equation now become u minus 3 over u equals to 2. And now in order to solve this equation, because my denominator is u, so I'm going to multiply by u throughout. So I get u squared minus 3 equals to 2u. It's a quadratic equation. Throw everything to the left hand side. U squared minus 2u minus 3 equals to 0. Factorize this. So I have u minus 3. I have u plus 1 equals to 0. So solve it. U equals to 3 or u equals to minus 1. And take note and remember, a lot of times students, oh, solve equation, they're so used to seeing solving an alphabet, then they move on. But remember, you are only temporarily letting u be log 2x. Your objective is to solve x, not solve u. So after you solve u, please remember to pull back your log 2x. So now you know log 2x is actually equals to 3. To solve this, change it to index form. Push up, x is equals to 2 to the power of 3. So x is equals to 8. Here, log 2x is equals to negative 1. So x equals to 2 to the power of negative 1. X equals to 1 over 2, 1. And therefore, x is equals to half. And always check. Okay, always put the x that you found back into the original equation to see whether it's valid. Because our x here, in this case, looking at the equation, x cannot be negative. Base also cannot be negative, but in this case both is positive, so it's very safe, so we can accept both answer. Okay, so this is how you do this question. This is a 4 marks question, not tough. It's you have to use change of base, then use substitution, solve quadratic equation, and then pull back the log 3x. And then you have to know how to convert between log form and index form. Understand? Yay! Now we're going to go to our question 5. We're going to OT a bit lah. I don't want to bring forward the question anymore. Let me see. Yeah, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 more questions to go. So I'm going to go very fast. So if I go too fast and then you cannot catch it, okay, please go to my YouTube channel when my team actually upload the video. You can always refer to the solution, to the recording again, and then learn again if I talk too fast, because I want to cover 4 more questions. By right, I'm supposed to end at 6, right? But I want to cover 4 more questions. So let's go very fast. So the expression blah blah blah, where a and b are constant, has a factor of x plus 4 and leave a remainder of minus 5 when divided by x minus 1. This kind of question always come out. 4 marks question is actually pretty easy. First, you have to give a name to this expression. Now it's nameless, nameless. So we're going to just say, okay, I'm going to let fx is equals to x cubed plus ax plus b first. So now the first information that they give me is, they say it's a factor x plus 4. Means that when I sub in negative 4 using factor theorem, when I sub in negative 4, I should have 0 remainder. That's the first information they give me. Now, the second information they give me is, when I divide by x minus 1, I have a remainder minus 5. So, by remainder theorem, it means that when I sub in 1, I should get a remainder minus 5. So, now I have 2 information. I can form 2 equations, then do simultaneous. Okay? So f minus 4 means, referring to your fx, replace all the x to become negative 4. So now it becomes minus 4 cubed plus a minus 4 plus b equals to 0. So this is minus 64 minus 4a plus b equals to 0. Let's make b the subject. So my b is equals to 64 plus 4a, equation 1. Okay, so now let's move on to find the second equation. So f1 means, again referring to your fx, replace all the x to become 1. So it becomes 1 cubed plus a1 plus b is equals to negative 5. So 1 plus a plus b equals to negative 5. So I have my a plus b equals to minus 6. Okay, so this is actually my equation 2. And because I already have 1, which is the B subject, so I just need to substitute my equation 1 into my equation 2. Replace all the B to become this. So it becomes A plus 64 plus 4A equals to negative 6. So you can see this is a linear equation, solve A. So I get 5A minus 6 minus 64. 5A equals to minus 70. A equals to negative 14. My B is 64 plus 4 negative 14, and that will give us 8. Yes. So therefore, my A is negative 14, my B is 8, and we are done. Right. Okay, let me see how many likes. Wow, today like very slow. Today actually weird. Why is it that the number of people viewing so little? Maybe Sunday everyone go 拜年. You know, it's now still Chinese New Year. You know, people are meeting up and do the lo hei. If you see my video about the lo hei, yeah. So maybe that's the reason why. But for those who are here learning, thumbs up. Okay. So give me 2 minutes for not 2 minutes, just a few seconds for me to take a sip of water. Okay, and then for the time being, help me to like. Maybe now it's 6.2. I'm not ambitious today. Let's just move on to 7K. I'll be very happy. Okay, help me to like up to 7K. Okay. Let me drink water first. Thanks for the lollipop who actually helped me to like. I see that you all like. I can see who like. So you want to learn from me for free on TikTok live, also do me a favor by helping me to do like. Okay, more likes I have, we can actually push out the videos out to more people who see that I'm doing the TikTok live, and then they will come in and learn together. So you are helping me, we are also indirectly helping other people also. Okay, now let's take a look. 6.3. Okay, now 5B. So now they say use the value of A and B that you found, solve the equation. So now my equation now become, my fx now will become x cubed. My A is minus 14x plus 8. So now this is my cubic expression, complete already, because my A and B was unknown just now. Now we know it, you put it in. Then they want you to go and solve this equation. So before you solve the cubic equation, you're supposed to factorize it first. So to factorize, every 90% of the time, okay, they will actually give you the first factor already. Look back into this question, they already tell us that x plus 4 is a factor. So I know that when I factorize this, I will expect to have a x plus 4. But of course, we will have this quadratic which we need to find. So to find the quadratic factor, you need to do long division. Okay, do the long division. Just take x cubed. Okay, take note. You see, x cubed is straight away jump to x, correct? There's a missing term. So when there's a missing term, please remember to put 0x squared. Then you put minus 14x plus 8. Then you divided it by x plus 4. Okay, so let's continue to divide. So what multiplied by x give me x cubed? So this will be x squared. So rainbow, this will be x cubed. This will be plus 4x squared minus bracket 0 minus 4. So this is minus 4x squared. Bring this down, minus 14x. What multiplied by x give me negative 4x squared? I will get minus 4x. Rainbow minus 4x squared, rainbow minus 16x, minus with a bracket. So minus 14 minus minus 16 means it's 2x. Bring this down, plus 8. So what multiplied by x give me 2x is just a 2. So this is 2x plus 8 minus, and of course I expect a 0 remainder because x plus 4 is a factor. If you don't get a 0 remainder, please check your long division, okay? Because you must have 0 as the remainder. So now I know my quadratic factor is this side. Now I have factorized. So in order to solve my fx is equals to 0, which is the cubic equation, I know that my x plus 4 is equals to 0, or x squared minus 4x plus 2 equals to 0. Okay, by looking at the question, they say expressing the non-integer roots in the form of this. I already know that this quadratic cannot factorize one. We will have to use the quadratic formula to solve. This one easy. This is just x equals to negative 4. This I have to use the quadratic formula, which is x is equals to minus b minus negative 4 plus minus b square minus 4ac over 2a. So we have 4 plus minus square root 8 over 2. Still can simplify. Square root 8 become 4 times 2. So now this one becomes 4 plus minus 2 square root 2 over 2. Just nice, both number can divide by 2. So therefore 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And therefore this will be the two roots. So you have x equals to negative 4 as one of the roots, and 2 plus minus square root 2 as the other two roots. And that's all. Because they mentioned you want you to put it as in the form of c plus minus square root d. You see, this question is not tough, polynomial. 8 marks. It's not tough, It's not tough. And always they ask similar questions. Just change the number a little bit, So this is how you do this polynomial question. Okay, let's move on. Let's see what's the next question. Linear law. Okay, linear law. Linear law, it is not tested for normal acad AMath, only express learn linear law. So if normal acad you all say what's linear law, then don't get a shock. Only express learn linear law. So normal acad don't learn linear law. So now let's proceed to do this question. Linear law actually is a topic that again a lot of times the questions are really similar. It's the same concept, but it's also a killer topic that a lot of students don't know what to do. Okay, so now this is a question whereby graph is not needed, because there's two types. One is you need to plot the graph. One is you don't have to plot the graph. This situation no need to plot graph, The variable x and y, small x and small y, are such that when variables x, y are plotted against this, a straight line is obtained. So I always like to draw out. No need to be so nice. You just want to draw out the story. Okay, you just need to draw the story. So this is the big Y. So here you will write x, y. This is a big X. So this is the 1 over x. Okay, it is given that blah blah blah. Okay, this is tricky. Why? Because what they give you is small x and small y. It is not big X and big Y. But in order to put on my linear law graph, I need to change my coordinate to big X and big Y. So my big X, we know that it is 1 over x. Okay, so therefore you will look at this. So it means it's 1 over 2. My big Y is xy. So you will take 2 multiplied by 1.75, and that will give us 7 over 2. So the first point we have is actually half and 7 over 2. Understand? You need to convert your coordinates into big X and big Y. Understand? Okay, next we have a second set here. So my big X will be 1 over negative 1, which is just negative 1. my big Y is xy. In this case will be 1 minus 1 times 1. So I get negative 1. So in this case, the second point we have is minus 1 minus 1. So now I'm going to plot the points on the graph. So 1 minus 1 minus 1 is here. The other one is half and 7 over 2. So let's say it's here. No need to be exact, okay? It's just a story. You just need to know what they're talking about. So I'm going to draw the line. So this is what they're trying to tell you. Okay, once you have that, next they ask, find the value of small y when small x is equals to 3. So firstly, I need to convert my small x to big X first. So when x is equals to 3, the big X is 1 over x, which is 1 over 3. So then the question is, what is the big Y? So this is actually what they're trying to say. But of course, after I find my big Y, I need to convert it to small y. So but for the time being, I want to find out what is the big Y. So whenever you have a point, you need the equation of the line. So equation of the line, we all know that is y equals to mx plus c. But the only difference is I want you to use big Y and big X over here. So y is equals to mx plus c. This is the first thing you need to do. Okay, this is the first thing you need to do. Then the next thing is find the gradient. I already have 2 points, so find the gradient is nothing tough. So I just, okay, gradient y1 minus y2. So I'm going to just take y1 minus y2. 7 over 2 minus negative 1 over half minus negative 1. And that will give us 3. So now my equation of the line now become y equals to 3x plus c. And next, find my c. How to find the c? On the graph, of course, I don't know what's my y-intercept. I just go and sub 1 point. So you want to sub this, you want to sub this also can. I don't like to sub fractions, so I'm going to choose minus 1 and minus 1. So now we're going to substitute negative 1 and negative 1. So y is negative 1, 3 negative 1 plus c. C is minus 1 plus 3, so my c is 2. So the equation of this line now is y equals to 3x plus 2. Not done yet. We have finally find the equation of the line. Remember just now our objective is I want to find out what is the big Y when my big X is 1/3. So with this, I simply need to substitute my X is equals to 1/3. My Y is 3 1/3 plus 2, which is 1 plus 2, which is 3. Don't stop there because they want to find the small y. They are not asking to find the big Y. So I need to change back. My big Y was xy. So therefore, xy equals to 3. The corresponding small x is 3. So that means 3y equals to 3, y equals to 1. Ta-da! And we are done. This is a 5 marks question. Not tough. You need to be very strong with your y equals to mx plus c, finding gradient, finding the c. That is basically coordinate geometry that you learn in AMath Sec 3 coordinate geometry. Then the next thing is you need to be very clear on small x, small y, big X and big Y. Okay, so I always tell my student, please write your big X, big, really big, doesn't look like small x. Big Y means big Y. Okay, yes, so it must be very clear. Once you are very neat in writing out the big X and big Y, everything, and actually it's not tough at all. And 5 marks will be inside your pocket. Okay. Okay, let's move on to question number 7. Woohoo! Let me see how many likes I have. Aiyo, I haven't even reached 7K. I put such a small goal. You all also cannot help me to hit that, 200 likes to go. Okay. Okay, we left with the last two questions. This one is exponential application. Again, this application exponential is only applicable for express. Normal acad, this is not applicable. Okay, let's move on. Okay, we reached 7.1k already. Thank you very much. Okay, so now let's take a look. Some rabbits were introduced into a piece of grassland. Okay, so the formula they give us is P is equals to 55 e to the power of k t plus 5, where k is a constant, means k is a fixed number. And then t is measured in months. Okay, I want you all to always take note. The time that they give you, is it in months, in year, or what? Is very important, or days. After 2 months, the population grew to double of the initial. So these are the key information that you need to interpret into some numbers whereby you can form equation. So when they say 2 months means t is 2. Okay, but before that, I need to find out what is my initial population first. So let's find the initial population. Initial population means at the beginning. So you must sub t equals to 0. That means the starting. When the t equals to 0, my p is equals to 55 e k 0 plus 5. E to the power of 0 is 1. So 55 times 1 is just 55. 55 plus 5 is just 60. So they are trying to tell you the rabbits, at the start, the population is 60. Okay, 60 rabbits. Now is after 2 months. So after 2 months, it means that they are saying when t equals to 2, the population now become 2 times. So 60 times 2, so it's 120. So we have t equals to 2, we have p is equals to 120. So with these two information, we're going to sub into our equation and solve my k. So p is 120, 55 e k2 plus 5. So you can see this is actually an equation you need to solve k. But of course, a lot of students get confused. How to solve? I got e, I got k, then they don't know what to do. You need to know that e is actually just a number. It's not unknown. So the first step is bring the plus 5 over first. So I have 120 minus 5 equals to 55 e2k. This is 115 equals to 55 e2k. So now take note, this is 55 multiplied. So I'm going to make e2k the subject is 55 over 1, the other way around, sorry. 115 over 55. So let's continue to solve. I'm going to ln both sides because base e is involved. So you will write ln both sides. Okay, ln both sides, and then we have ln e to k equals to ln 115 over 55. Bring down the power, so 2k. Ln e is disappear already because it's a 1. So it's ln 115 over 55. So k will be ln 115 over 55 divided by 2, and that will give us 0.368799. Write off the 3SF, 0.369. And we are done. So this is a 3 marks question. Okay, so you need to know that I always have to find the initial number. So initial number is just sub t equals to 0. Okay, standard. Then okay, my t is equals to 0. When t equals to 0, my p is 60. Means I know my initial population is 60. After 2 months, they say it doubles. So it means when t equals to 2, my population is 120 because I take initial multiply by 2 at 120. Then with these two information, sub it in and solve your k. K is a constant. So now I have actually my complete equation. So my complete equation now is P is equals to 55E K. I have to take the long number 0.368799T plus 5. So this is the formula to calculate the population of the rabbit. And the only unknown, of course, if the T is, if you are talking about 5 months, you sub T equals to 5. If you are talking about 10 months, you sub T equals to 10 and find the population accordingly. So now is, they say find the greatest value before the population exceed 1000. Before means I want it to be less than 1000. So I will say for my population to be less than 1000, okay, I will do 55E 0.368799T plus 5 less than 1000. So I'm supposed to solve the T. So I'm going to solve this. I'm going to bring my minus plus 5 over. So see my E 0.368799T is 1000 minus 5, then divided by 55. So now I have my E 0.368799T less than 199 over 11. Then now I'm going to ln both sides. So I will have ln E 0.368799T, okay, less than ln 199 over 11. Now let's solve my T, because ln E is when it disappears. So it will just be ln 199 over 11 divided by 0.368799. And you can see that the T is less than 7.8509. They ask for the greatest integer. If you're going to draw this number line, 7.8509, integer is here, integer is here. This is this direction. So by looking at this number line, your greatest integer value, therefore greatest integer T is equals to 7. Ta-da! And we are done. Okay, so for this question, many students actually again panic again. Why? They don't know how to solve this equation. Okay, when they sub in, they don't know what to do. So very critical thing I need to tell you is that this plus 5, when you shift over, is minus 5. You have to shift the plus 5 minus 5 first, so that become a number. And then over here, because this is multiplied by 55, then you bring over, become divide by 55. And then when it's this kind of form, what you need to do is you got to ln both sides, because I have base E involved. Okay, to choose to ln both sides is because I want to make use of the power law to bring down my 2k. So 2k multiplied by 1 is actually 2k, and you solve your k. And once you solve your k, you have the full formula for the population of rabbit. And then they say they don't want it to exceed 1000, so it means P less than 1000. You just solve as per normal. So therefore, it means that at the 7th month, okay, my population of rabbit haven't exceed 1000 yet. It is still less than 1000. Once it is like above 7, it means 8 lah. Let's say 8. If you set T equals to 8, you will be more than 1000. Okay. Yay, we are at the last question. The last question is equation of circle. Equation of circle is applicable for both express and normal acad. Let me play around with my leaderboard and let's see who is at the top. Woohoo! So these are my top viewers who are learning and who are actually supporting me by giving a lot of likes. close it. Okay, now let's move on to the last question. How? Are you all still there learning? How? Should we go on with our last question? Give me a yes if I were to proceed. No response, then I will just leave this question to the next live, because I haven't eaten my dinner also lah. Give me a yes if you want me to go through the last question. Okay, you can keep quiet or just say a no if you don't want me to go through the question 8. No response means I'm also not going through because I just want to make sure that somebody is here listening. Da 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 da. Yes, no, nothing. Okay, there's a yes. Okay, let's just continue with the last question. Okay, unknown person as well as little lolly cakes. Oh, it's lolly cakes, not lollipop. Just now I thought it's lollipop. Okay, let's do the last question. So this is equation of circle. For me, I'm someone who I need to see some visual so that I'll be able to visualize the story. But I'm an ugly artist. Okay, in other words, I draw very ugly. Okay, so but it's okay. Okay, we are not in the art competition, so just draw that we understand, and that's good enough. So over here, they mentioned that the 2 points are on the circle with a center C. And every time they give you 2 points, it's very, very critical that you need to know whether are they the 2 endpoints of a diameter. If they did not mention that they are the endpoints of a diameter, you cannot assume that they are diameter, understand? So in this question, they never mention. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to just draw I'm going to mark out -3, -7. So actually it's like that. -3 and 7, let's say it's here. So this is -3 and 7. This is my point A. -5 and 5. So -5 is here and then 5. So it's maybe a bit lower, a little bit. Okay, so this one is my B, -5 and 5. And because this is not the diameter, so when I want to draw the center, before that, let's take a look at this part. They say the gradient of the tangent at A is positive. It means that later when I'm going to draw the tangent line on point A, I give a positive number. It's a positive line. So in this case, I'm going to draw this one like that. Wow, not bad. Okay, a circle with the 2 points, and the 2 points is not diameter. And I draw this direction is because my tangent at A is positive. So later this line, the tangent line, this is the tangent line. The gradient is 3/4. Okay, whether the line is really gradient 3/4 is not important. It's just a story. Okay, and then I have a center C. So my center will be somewhere around here lah. So I'm going to mark out a C. I don't know what's the coordinate yet. I don't know. Okay, so far this is the story. Okay, so with this story drawn, very ugly, never mind. Okay, then let's see what they want. Now they say find the equation of the normal to the circle at point A. So because this is the tangent line, you need to know that normal and tangent is perpendicular to each other. And whenever they ask you to draw the normal line in a circle, it's actually a line that passes through the radius. So it is actually talking about this line. Height. This is 90 degrees because radius is perpendicular to tangent. So when they ask to draw the normal, actually it's asking you to find the equation of the radius super extended. So their task is to ask you y equals to mx plus c question mark. This is the objective. Again, your Sec 3 coordinate geometry come into place. You need to know how to form the equation of the line using y equals to mx plus c. So now then take a look at this line. Oh, perpendicular, I have this gradient, so I can easily find the gradient of the normal line. So I'm going to take 3/4 multiplied by the gradient 2, which is the gradient of the normal, is equals to -1. So I know my gradient 2 is -4/3. It means, oh, so equation of this line, the gradient is -4/3. So now it becomes y is equals to -4/3x plus c. How to find c? Set a point which is on the line. So now let's take a look. We only have one point, which is -3, 7. So I'm going to just substitute -3 and 7. So 7 equals to -4/3 minus 3 plus c. Okay, so I have 7 equals to, this one is 4 plus c. So c is equals to 7 minus 4, c is equals to 3. So equation, therefore, equation of normal at A is y equals to -4/3 x plus 3. And we are done. Three marks question. Okay. Woo, we reached 8K. Thank you. So now let's take a look here. Show that the coordinate of C is 3 and -1. The C is the center. Okay. So now since I already have this equation, I'm going to just replace this with the actual equation -4/3x plus 3. Sorry, throat pain. I teach since morning. Yeah, so a bit tired. Okay, equation of normal at A is this. So we are done. Now you see this question, 5 marks. So why is it so tough? It's because the equations that you're going to form is going to be involve fractions. So it's going to be a bit tough. So what information can I use to form equation? You need to know that when I join the C to either of the point, BC is radius, AC is also radius, and because it's a radius, of course they are the same. Agree? So we will say that I'm going to let point C be, okay, what is the 2 points? The 2 coordinate. First, I will let my x coordinate be A. How about the y coordinate? Okay, see here, because you already have the equation of the line, and you know the x is A. So the y coordinate, you will have to sub x equals to A into the equation of the line, because my point C is on the line. So therefore, my y coordinate is -4/3a plus 3. Okay, so you see, initially my C is 2 unknown, like A and B. Okay, I'm making use of the first set of information to change my y to become in terms of A, because we know that point C is on this line. Okay, again, this is a very important skill that you need to know. Okay, when a point is on the line, their xy coordinate is related by the equation of the line. Okay, again, that's something you learn in Sec 3 coordinate geometry. Okay, now I want to make use of the radius. Remember, just now I say that since AC and BC are radius of the circle, so therefore our AC is equals to BC. And based on this information, we're going to form AC the length as well as the BC the length, and then after that solve equation. Remember just now we use a similar formula. So now AC, I'm going to put the square root. Look at these two. So it will be where's my A? My point A is this one. Okay, I'm going to write out. Okay, point A is here. So I'm going to take A minus 3. See, A minus 3. So it will be A plus 3 squared plus A minus 3. This minus 4. So I will have minus 4 third A plus 3 minus 7 and square. This is the length of AC. Wait. The other side, length of BC, do the same thing. So A minus 5, so it's A plus 5 square plus this minus 5. So we have negative 4 over 3A plus 3 minus 5, and the whole thing squared. Then now the tough part is fraction how to solve. Okay, so see here. Okay, now the square root actually square both sides, it disappear already. So I'm not going to write any more of the square root. This one is easy. This is just rainbow as per normal. So it's just A square plus 6A plus 9. Now the question is, how am I going to expand this? This is very tough, right? So see here, the number here is plus 3 minus 4 is negative 4. So will you agree that this is actually minus 4 third A minus 4 minus 4 third A minus 4. When your so-called A and B, when your so-called expansion involves fraction, negative, I will always put up the 2 bracket and we will do the manual expansion. That means the rainbow lah. Okay. Then now this side, this is just A square plus 10A plus 25, and same thing. This one is plus 3 minus 2. So this one is plus minus 4 over 3A minus 2 minus 4 over 3A minus 2. Now it will be easier to expand. So this one remain the same, A square plus 6A plus 9. So let's do the expansion for this one. Since this is a plus, so you have not much of an issue. If this is a minus, then you have to put bracket. Since it's a plus, I don't need to put bracket anymore. Let's just do the rainbow. Negative 4 third A multiplied by negative 4 third A give us 16 over 9A squared. 4 third times 4 third is 16 over 9. Minus times minus give me a positive. A multiplied by A give me A squared. Now this expansion, this side, it will be plus 16 over 3A. This rainbow is also plus 16 over 3A. This is minus 4 multiplied by negative 4, so it's plus 16. Now do the same thing to the right hand side. A square plus 10A plus 25, no change. Let's do our expansion as per normal. This multiplied by this will give us 16 over 9A square plus 8 over 3A plus 8 over 3A plus 4. So we have managed to expand and simplify. Then the next thing is, let's group the like terms together. But before we group the like terms together, I want to say that, do you see that both sides got A square and A square? If I bring this over, they will actually net off each other. So actually it disappeared. If you look at this one, these two, this one also exactly the same, right? So this one also disappeared. So now I only left with A and number. So let's simplify. So we have 6A plus 16 over 3a plus 16 over 3a minus 10a minus 8 over 3a and minus 8 over 3a. As for the number, I have plus 9 plus 16 minus 25 and minus 4 equals to 0. Okay, so after I simplify, I will have 4 over 3a minus 4 equals to 0. So I will have my 4 third a equals to 4, a is equals to 3. Then where's my b? I don't need a, sorry, not b. My point here, the xy coordinate is minus 4 third a plus 3. So minus 4 third a plus 3 will actually give us negative 1. Therefore, C is 3 negative 1 shown. And we are done. Okay, so this is a 5 marks question. It's tedious because it involves fractions when you're doing the expansion. And not just fraction, it also involves negative. So when such situation happens, I don't want to take any risk, so I will always open up manually. Okay, and then will not go wrong. Okay, so that is part B. Yay, we left with the last part, which is the part C. Okay. Part C very easy because they ask you to find the equation of the circle. Okay, we write out the center first. My center, we already know that it is 3 and negative 1. To find the equation of the circle, you need to find the radius as well. So the radius is finding the length. So the radius is finding the length. So we can easily just use any of the one. You want to use AC, you want to use BC also can. Okay, so my point, I'm going to just use AC. So my A is minus 3 and 7. So let's find the length. So 3 minus minus 3, 3 minus negative 3 square plus minus 1 minus 7 square, and the whole thing square root 6 square plus negative 8 square and square root 36 plus 64, and that will give us square root 100, and that will give us 10 units. So this is the radius. This is the radius. So we have the center, we have the radius, we can form the equation of the circle. So therefore, equation of the circle is x minus 3 square plus y minus 1, so y plus 1 square equals to radius square 10 square, which is 100. And we are done. So this is the equation of the circle. You don't have to expand, you can leave it in this form. Okay, this is the standard form. Unless they ask for general form, then you need to expand. Okay, don't put 10 square on the right hand side. You got to put the after you square it one. So that is the equation of the circle. And we are done.